Here at Math Science History, we are doing something new on Fridays. We are introducing a regular micro-podcast segment called Flashcards. Why flashcards? Because me and my team tried brainstorming and we thought about it for days. We exchanged ideas and then we thought about it some more. Finally, last night, after a week of this, it was getting late and all we wanted to do was just hang out and watch Silo. So, off the top of my head, I suggested flashcards and they all went, okay, sounds good. Let's go watch TV. So flashcards it is. Every Friday, we will be posting a very short micro podcast, kind of like a flashcard, with an obscure math, science, history fact. And if you have any obscure math, science, history facts for a flashcard, please feel free to reach out to us on the socials or in the comments of your podcast platform and let us know what kind of flashcard you would like to hear or even see, because we will be posting it on the website at mathsciencehistory.com. Oh, and hey, while you're there, don't forget to click on that coffee button and buy us a cup of coffee, because every cup of coffee that you buy goes towards the production costs of this podcast. And now, on with today's Math Science History's Friday flashcard. Today, I'm going to travel back to the 17th century, where we meet a lesser-known figure in math, Claude Mydorge. That's M-Y-D-O-R-G-E. While he's not a household name like Descartes or Fermat, Mydorge contributed to the mathematical conversations of his time and quietly left a mark on the geometric landscape. So who was Claude Mydorge, and why should we care about him? Well, picture 17th century France. It's the height of the scientific revolution, a period of groundbreaking discoveries from Galileo's telescope to Descartes' analytical geometry. Math was evolving rapidly, moving beyond the classical methods of the Greeks and transforming into a modern discipline. Amidst this intellectual ferment was Claude Mydorge, a mathematician who focused on geometry. While history hasn't recorded extensive details about his life, what we do know places him among a fascinating network of early modern thinkers dedicated to unraveling the mysteries of shapes, proportions, and the nature of space. Mydorge's work wasn't groundbreaking in the way that Newton's or Leibniz's contributions were, but it reflects the collaborative and incremental progress that defined this era. So, his contributions are as follows. Mydorge was a member of the Académie Parisienne, an informal scientific society that predated the official French Academy of Sciences. This group brought together thinkers from various disciplines, creating a space to exchange ideas and debate emerging theories. The Académie Parisienne functioned as a melting pot for intellectuals who sought to tackle problems in geometry, physics, and astronomy. Mydorge's association with this group highlights his role in a broader network of 17th century science, even if his individual achievements remain undocumented. One of Mydorge's key focus was geometry, a field experiencing a revival thanks to René Descartes' development of analytical geometry. Mydorge engaged with problems in classical Euclidean geometry. While details of his specific works are scarce, his participation in the academic circles of the time ensured that his ideas contributed to the broader mathematical conversations by these prominent, famous mathematicians. At this time, geometry was transforming from a purely theoretical pursuit into a tool for solving practical problems in engineering, astronomy, and physics. Mathematicians like Mydorge contributed by refining classical methods and bridging the gap between ancient knowledge and emerging innovations. His engagement with geometry placed him alongside those advancing our understanding of shapes and space, even if his name faded into obscurity. Unlike his contemporaries, luminaries such as Descartes, Fermat, or Pascal, Claude Mydorge wasn't at the center of monumental discoveries. However, this doesn't diminish his significance. He represented the collaborative and iterative nature of scientific progress. And that's what science is about. It's about the collaboration of our discoveries. In any revolution, including the scientific revolution, there are the stars that shine brightly and the quieter individuals who provide essential support, refinement, and application of the big ideas. Mydorge was one of those quiet forces. a geometer contributing to the broader mathematical enterprise of his time. While specific works attributed to him are sparse in surviving records, his name occasionally appears in correspondences and academic discussions, indicating his active participation in the intellectual exchanges of the 17th century. These exchanges often involved proposing problems, debating solutions, and refining methods, which were vital to advancing the discipline as a whole. And they are still vital to advancing science as a whole. To appreciate Mydorge's contributions, let's take a step back and consider the state of geometry in the 1600s. At this point, geometry was undergoing a transformation. For centuries, mathematicians had relied on the axiomatic methods of Euclid, with the elements serving as the foundational text. But the rise of analytical geometry, introduced by Descartes, offered new ways to approach spatial problems using algebraic methods. Mydorge was a man of means. He was an official of the government, and he was a physicist. And his mathematical attainments included his writings about optics, conics, and the recreations of mathematics. Mydorge's work, while rooted in classical Euclidean geometry, was part of the transitional period of algebraic methods. Mathematicians like him helped preserve the rigor of classical methods while exploring their application to new problems in mechanics, optics, physics, and astronomy. This balance between tradition and innovation defined much of the 17th century mathematics. One of the most striking aspects of Mydorge's life is his connection to the intellectual networks of his time. The Académie Parisienne, of which he was a part, brought together thinkers from diverse disciplines. These informal gatherings allowed mathematicians, philosophers, and scientists to challenge each other, refine their ideas, and collectively push the boundaries of knowledge. While Mydorge may not have been the loudest voice in the room, his participation in these discussions highlights the collective nature of scientific progress. And his story reminds us that even those who don't achieve individual fame play a vital role in advancing human understanding. So why should we care about Claude Mydorge? Well, in a world that often celebrates individual achievement, Mydorge's story offers a different perspective. He represents the countless thinkers, experimenters, and collaborators who contribute to the advancement of knowledge without necessarily receiving widespread recognition. His story also invites us to reflect on the power of intellectual communities. The Académie Parisienne and similar groups of the time laid the groundwork for modern scientific organizations. They showed that progress happens not in isolation, but through the exchange of ideas and the refinement of methods over time. Mydorge's life and work, though not as well documented as those of his contemporaries, remind us that every contribution matters. Each proof, problem, and discussion adds a piece to the puzzle of understanding, even if history doesn't always remember the names behind them. So that's it for today's episode of Fun Fact with Math Science History. Claude Mydorge may not be a name you hear often, but his story highlights the quieter side of the scientific revolution, the incremental progress, the collaborative spirit, and the dedication to exploring the mysteries of mathematics. If you enjoyed today's episode as well as my other lengthier episodes, please subscribe, share, and let me know what other hidden figures or mathematical moments you'd like to have me explore. And remember, even the smallest contributions to knowledge can have a lasting impact. Until next time, carpe diem.